Biological importance of sodium and potassium. So for sodium ions are found primarily on the outside of cells, okay, and it is located in blood plasma. It's located in blood plasma and in the interstitial fluid which surrounds the cells, and in the interstitial fluids which surrounds the cell. Okay. Next, there are some important functions of sodium. Okay, these ions are taking part in transmission of nerve signals. Transmission of nerve signals, and second point, it regulates the regulation of water flow across cell membrane. Regulation of water flow across cell membranes, and it also helps the transports of amino acids and sugars into the cells. Transport of amino acids and sugars into the cells. Okay. These are the important functions. Okay. Next, about potassium. Potassium ions are the most abundant cations in cell fluid. Okay. So, potassium ions are the most abundant cations in cell fluids, most abundant cations, and their important functions. First point, they take part in the oxidation of glucose to form ATP. Oxidation of glucose to form ATP. What is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Okay. So it is used for the oxidation of glucose to form ATP. Next, second point, activation of enzymes. Activation of enzymes. And third point, it is also used for the transmission of nerve signals. Okay, with sodium ions, they are also used for the transmission of nerve signals. Transmission of nerve signals with Na plus ions. Okay. These are the important functions. Okay. There is considerable variation in the concentration of Na plus and K plus ions. They are found on the opposite sides of the cell membrane. So there is difference. There is considerable variation in their concentration. Okay. The functional features of nerve cells depends upon the sodium potassium ion gradient. Okay. Functional features. Depends upon the sodium potassium ion gradient. Okay, depends upon sodium potassium ion gradient, and its gradient varies. Okay, and these ion gradient are maintained by the sodium potassium pump that operates across cell membranes. Okay, this ionic gradients are maintained by sodium potassium pumps sodium potassium pump which operates across cell membranes. Okay, so these functional features are depending upon the sodium potassium ion gradient, and it is this ion gradient is maintained by sodium potassium pump, okay, that operates across cell membranes. Okay, for example, in plasma, blood plasma, Na plus concentration, sodium ion is present in the extent 143 mol liter inverse. Okay, whereas K plus ion present only, this is Na plus, and K plus is only 5 mol liter inverse. Okay, so there is a large difference. This K plus ion, K plus level is only 5 mol liter inverse within the RBC, within red blood cells. Okay. Also, this concentration changes to 10 mol liter inverse to 105 mol liter inverse. So it varies. Okay. So next case it becomes 10 mol liter inverse for Na plus and 105 mol liter inverse for K plus. So sodium potassium pump consumes more than 1/3 of ATP used by the resting a resting animal. For a resting animal, for a resting animal, sodium potassium pump consumes more than 1/3 of ATP. Okay, more than 1/3 of ATP used by a resting animal and about 15 kg per 24 hour. 15 kg per 24 hour is consumed by sodium potassium pump in a resting human. It's the difference. Okay, resting animal, it is 1/3 of the ATP, more than 1/3 of ATP is consumed, whereas for a resting human 15 kg per 24 hour is consumed by sodium potassium pump. Okay, and when a typical 70 kilogram human contains 90 gram sodium and 170 gram potassium. 170 gram potassium for a 70 kg man contains 90 gram sodium and 170 gram potassium, which is compared to 5 gram of iron, whereas iron will be only 5 gram and copper is only 0.6 gram. Okay, so this much about the biological importance of sodium and potassium.